It was exactly 6:43 a.m. when Sophia slid her key into the side entrance of West Grove Enterprises. The first light of dawn barely skimmed across London's skyline, and the city still slumbered beneath its early fog. Inside the sleek, glass-encased office building, silence reigned, broken only by the gentle hum of Sophia's vacuum and the quiet squeak of her sneakers gliding over freshly waxed floors. These hours belonged to her. No chatter, no scrutiny, just the rhythm of cleaning and the comfort of solitude. Sophia worked as a janitor. She was an immigrant, soft-spoken, often overlooked, nearly invisible. She had arrived from Bulgaria half a decade ago, barely able to string together a sentence in English. These days, she understood enough to get by, though she still chose silence over speaking. It was safer that way. She never wanted to be in anyone's path. But this particular morning refused to follow routine. As she was carefully wiping down the front reception desk, still pristine at that hour, a sharp ring echoed from behind the counter. The company phone. The one no one ever expected her to answer. She froze. The screen blinked with an international number. Tokyo, Japan. Her pulse quickened. No receptionist had arrived. The office wouldn't open for another hour. Still, the ringing persisted. Something twisted in her gut. What if this was important? What if letting it ring caused a serious issue? Hands trembling, Sophia lifted the receiver. West Grove. "Hello," she said cautiously. There was a pause. Then a clear, formal voice responded. "This is Mr. Tanaka of Hoshino Tech. I have a scheduled call with Mr. Holloway. He should be expecting me." Sophia's eyes widened. She knew that name. Tanaka, the CEO of Westgrove's most valuable client. A multimillion-dollar agreement had been in the works for months, and everyone had been talking about it for weeks. I'm sorry," she stammered. "No one is in yet. We open at 8. There was silence on the other end. Then a quiet sigh. "This is regrettable. Our time is limited. If we cannot begin now, we may need to reschedule or reconsider." Sophia didn't need corporate training to recognize the disappointment and urgency in his tone. Without thinking, the words flew out of her mouth. "I speak Japanese," she said, almost breathlessly. That was the first unexpected twist. Before her life in the UK, before mops and early shifts, Sophia had been an interpreter in Sofia, Bulgaria. She had studied Japanese for 6 years. But then, life took an unkind turn. Her finances collapsed, and she'd left for the UK in search of survival, not recognition. The skill she had buried long ago was now her only bridge. In flawless Japanese, she gently offered, "May I assist with interpretation?" Another pause. Then, a surprised laugh. "You speak well. If Mr. Holloway is unavailable, perhaps you could pass along a message." When Douglas Holloway, the CEO, strolled into the building at 7:55 a.m., coffee in one hand and Bluetooth in his ear, he already looked tense. The Tokyo meeting was vital. It had taken 9 painstaking months to bring Tanaka to the negotiation table. "Sir," the receptionist called urgently, "you need to see this." Inside the conference room, he halted. There was Sophia, his janitor, sitting calmly at the head of the table, headset on, fluently translating in both languages. Her tone was poised, respectful, steady. On the video screen, Tanaka smiled warmly. "She's handling this better than your senior executive," Tanaka said with a light chuckle. "She even honored our cultural etiquette." "Who is she?" Sophia flushed and stood immediately. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to." But Holloway raised a hand, stunned. "No. Please. Continue." That single hour changed the trajectory of Sophia's life. Before noon, she was formally offered a new position, as a cultural liaison and interpreter. Her story spread fast, through the building, across LinkedIn, and into the local press. One headline read, "Cleaner secures deal of the year." But Sophia wasn't interested in headlines. What mattered most to her was finally being seen, not as the silent figure who scrubbed floors, but as someone with value. Weeks later, after receiving her first salary in the new role, Sophia returned during the early morning hours. Not to clean, but to say thank you. She brought a fresh cup of coffee to the woman who had trained her back when she didn't understand a word of English. "Thank you," she said softly, "for never making me feel small." That wasn't the emotional peak, though. The true climax came a few days later, during a Friday all-staff meeting. Holloway stood